Hello. So today we're going to be talking about the realization step in prayer. So we have recognition, and then we have unification, and then we arrive at realization, which I consider to be the meat and potatoes of prayer. And if you're a vegan, please don't be offended. So affirmative prayer is us affirming the truth of our being, regardless of appearances or conditions. And this is not a bypass, but it's a way to bring us into alignment with spiritual truths and realities about God, life, and ourselves, right? Especially when we are experiencing something other than these spiritual truths. And we're bound to experience challenges here in this world. So why not have a practice, right? That it's like if we're subject to like the terms and conditions of living here, isn't it great to have a practice that allows us to come back into alignment with a truth that has existed even long before the earth has, and to constantly have a way to remind ourselves of these truths so that then we can move with more ease and grace through this dimension and this plane. So that's number one, right? Being able to align ourselves with truth, divine truth. Spiritual principle might be another way of saying this. We want to be able to align with spiritual principle, and spiritual principle is an eternal truth that is never changing. Um, an example of it is God is infinite and it's the source of all of life. It is the one life and it has no beginning and it has no end. So that's a spiritual principle, is a statement about God that it doesn't change regardless of circumstances. It remains the truth forever. That is principle. So through the realization step, you and I are bringing ourselves into alignment with these statements of eternal truths. So it says, at the core, we are expressions of the divine, which is inherently whole, perfect, and complete. And so affirming this truth helps us to align our consciousness with our spiritual identity rather than with the illusion of lack, limitation, and separation. And so the second step would be for us to shift our perspective. Why would we do this kind of prayer? Why would we focus so much on the realization? Because you've heard the saying, attention goes, or energy goes where our attention goes, or energy flows where our attention goes. So if you and I want to experience abundance, health, relationship, love, security of a home, I want to shift my attention from focusing on the lack of the thing and move over to what would it feel like to have these things? Because often people want to manifest by just focusing on the form, right? So the husband or the wife, the house, the body, the money. But I want you to drop into your heart and think of the thing that it is that you would like to experience in your life. And now allow yourself to feel what it would feel like in your body to have the health. Can you see yourself running, doing yoga, walking down a beach? What do you want the thing for? Do you see yourself standing, delivering workshops, helping people to heal and to awaken? What do you want the house for? Do you see family gatherings? Do you see yourself holding workshops in the home? What do you want the partner for? Do you see yourself having in depth conversations about life, love, God? What do you want the money for? What does it feel like to have no need to check the balance in your account and be able to just constantly follow your heart's desires? So we want to shift our perspective from focusing on the lack to the having. And we want to tap into what it would feel like to have those things. And you want to ask yourself, what do I want the thing for anyway? And then we want to activate the law of mind. So in this practice of new thought, we recognize that our thoughts and beliefs influence our experiences. So affirming our wholeness sets into motion the creative law of the universe, attracting conditions that align with this affirmation. Jesus said, "It is done to you as you believe." So as you're dropping into the feeling of the of what it would feel like to have the thing that you want, you're generating the belief in it, and the universe is responding to that. And healing through consciousness. So wholeness and completeness as spiritual realities. By affirming these, we invite healing into our consciousness and subsequently into our physical, emotional, and mental experiences. Right? So a healing can occur for us on many different levels, and it might need to happen on all three levels for us to experience it here in the physical, especially when it comes to, like, for example, health. It is said that everything begins at the level of emotion. So you and I have a mental body, an emotional body, a physical body, and a spiritual body. And for us to experience our wholeness, all of these need to be healed or working together, coherent. And all that means is we tend to whatever needs tending to. And prayer is a great way to go about doing that. So another step is empowerment over circumstance. You are way more powerful than you've allowed yourself to believe, right? You and I are here as co-creators with spirit. We are not at the mercy of the wind or circumstances. And so, what would it feel like for you and I to embrace the level of power that is available to us so that we can live from an empowered place with something as beautiful as affirmative prayer? Says when we affirm our divine nature, we reclaim our power from circumstances that might otherwise feel overwhelming. This practice reminds us that we are not victims, but co-creators of our reality with spirit. I've heard it said that spirit can only do what it can do through you. That spirit is real, that spirit is where it is realized. If you and I begin to hang out in that space of, okay, spirit is here expressing itself as me. And what does the me part of spirit want to create, want to experience? And to know that I don't have to do this by myself, but I do have the power of God available within me, working with me. Right? So resonating, and then the last part will be resonating with vibrations of truth. Words carry vibrations. Affirming statements such as I am whole and perfect and complete resonate with the energy of health, vitality, and harmony, subtly influencing our mind, body, and our soul. So our throat is called the manifesting chakra. And what I associate this with is, if you think about it, in the beginning there was only God. There was no physical form, right? But God wanted to experience itself. And so it had to create physical form in order for it to experience itself. Because otherwise it's like just one non-physical thing, right? Experiencing its perfection and its completeness and its wholeness. So it is said in science that there was the big bang, right? There's a loud sound. And then physical form. began to occur. And we are made in the image and likeness of Spirit, of God. And I feel that our chakra, our fifth chakra, our throat chakra, which is called the manifesting chakra, that this is your own version of your own Big Bang. So be very mindful of how you're utilizing your words so that you're not using vibration to create more lack in your life, but you're using this power of vibration that Spirit, entrusted you with so that you can create the life that you really want at the level of your soul. So we want to be very mindful, right? We want to align with truth. Step number one, shift our perspective from lack to truth. We want to activate the law of mind, generate the feeling within our body so that that is what the universe is responding to. We can heal through our consciousness, right? By coming into alignment with what has been true and allowing it to resonate through every aspect of our being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We want to know it on every level, right? Not just here. And then we want to access our power in the face of circumstances, and then eventually not even wait for circumstances, just embracing our power to create, to co-create. And then we want to be very mindful of the vibration, how we're using our vibration. Right? So resonating with the vibration of truth, making statements that are true, that have always been true, and using our manifesting chakra in that way. So I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes for just a moment. And as we drop from our mind into our heart, we are instantly enveloped in a field of a divine love, which is the very presence of God. And it is known by so many names, but it is love. Love without limit and love without condition. It is whole, perfect, and complete. It lacks absolutely nothing. And all of life emanates from this source. It is the one true power. And it is everywhere present, including right where you and I are. And it created us in its image and its likeness, because what else could we have been created as? We're coming from it, then we must be like it. So we are its love, and we are its power, and we are its wholeness, and we are its abundance, and we are its creativity. And guess what? You and I are also eternal. We have no beginning, and we have no end. And so in this realization, I realize that God's power, God's love, God's grace, God's wholeness, God's abundance, God's peace, God's harmony, God's order, it's all already here within me. And I'm coming into alignment with this truth, to know that it was placed here from the very moment that it created me, and that all that it has already given me. And so I make myself available to receive the kingdom of heaven here on earth. Now I release anything that might get in the way of me receiving it wholly, perfectly, and completely. And I have no attachment to how it shows up. I just allow myself to receive the goodness of spirit, to remember my oneness with it all. And so I am grateful for the realization. I give thanks for the realization. I give thanks for the prayer. I give thanks for this study. And I release my word to this law that responds to me, to my feeling, to my belief. I release it, knowing it is done. Amen. So I hope that this helps to clarify the realization step. And I look forward to what you are creating and seeing it and witnessing it. Peace and blessings.